Hello. I really don't know where to start. I kind of wanted to, I guess, start a vlog and talk about being disabled and what it's like for me, and I'm sure it's like this for many others. I became disabled quite a few years ago. I have stenosis of the spine, degenerative disc disease, which everybody gets, but I just got it really early. Um, I also have sciatica, diabetes, and arthritis now. I just found out that recently. Um, I was in an accident in, what is it, 2000, in about 2000. I was hit by a trash truck. I was a passenger in a truck, and the trash truck hit us from behind, and it actually hit my side more, so the, my head actually hit the back of the windshield. It was an old truck, so, where your head was pretty much, right there where the glass is, and it just whipped back. But anyways, that's what kind of started it all. I have issues with, like standing too long, sitting too long, walking too long, and I'm talking like 5 minutes now. It used to be that I could walk longer distances and stuff, but now that I've gotten older, it's really catching up with me. So, I think it was about 3 years ago, I started trying to get disability, and I worked. I used to own my own businesses, and I worked since I was about 15. I didn't realize your work credits expire, so I now have to apply for SSI, I think it is. Yeah, SSI. I don't know, it's one of them. I get confused all the time about that. Anyways, prior to that, I had been applying for SSDI, I think it was, so it was the wrong one. And I was being denied over and over, and I had applied for probably really the past 8 years, maybe. But in the past 3 or so, I've been applying for the correct one. I actually had to get a lawyer, because I kept getting denied. I had went through their doctors before, and they were saying that, yeah, you need to be on disability, and I still got denied. So I never understood why. It's kind of sad that you work all your life and you put into your disability and you have to fight for it when you're truly disabled, when you truly get to that point. I mean, even after I was disabled, I actually owned my own businesses. I mean, because I was like, if nobody's going to give me work, I was going to create it. And I did. I used to own a transportation business called Red Pony Transportation, and I used to transport Medicaid clients to and from their appointments. That actually was a really fun thing to do. I enjoyed that because I like to meet people, and so I met tons of people doing that. But anyway, I got to the point where I couldn't even do that, so I tried other things, and being disabled, the type that I have, the pain will get to me sometimes, and I can't get up, I can't move, or if I do move, which I mean, I make myself move, but when I do get up and move, it's just painful. There's days that I can't cook for myself. This chair that I'm sitting in is pretty much my haven, because it's the only place I can really be, where I can be up and feel active. I do a lot of, I don't do it anymore, but I used to do a lot of Facebook, and even that's gotten to the point where I can't do that anymore. I mean, I can't sit that long, or I shouldn't sit that long, so I try to get up and do other things, but even those things, I've got to be careful, because doing simple things like laundry, can actually send me to an emergency room or something like that. And the last time I did the laundry, it's been maybe 4 months now, but I had to do my laundry, so I did my laundry, but I also did some other laundry, and after that my hips began to hurt, every step I took. I had pain in my hips. And then my heel hurt. And I was like, what is going on? I already have degenerative disc disease and sciatica and all this other stuff going on. What is this new pain? Because usually I go into pain like that, or spasms in my back, but it goes away after maybe 3 or 4 days. Well, this lasted 3 weeks, so I ended up, it calmed down a little bit. So one night, there was a car accident at the corner, and it turned off all our electricity. And so I ended up getting up, and I went over there, and there was no news or anything. So I went ahead and Facebooked it. And I was probably on my feet for an hour. And then I came home, and within like a couple hours after that, my hips were in excruciating pain. And I could barely walk. Like, I needed a walker. And my cane. I have a cane. But anyways, it was like my feet were barely scooching along, you're just barely moving along. And it was so agonizingly painful to walk. So I noticed that there was a bump in my heel, the upper part of my heel, the back part. And I was like, what is that? So it kind of freaked me out. So I finally was like, well, maybe I should go to the emergency room. Because I do not go to the emergency room if I don't have to. But that kind of freaked me out because it was some change that I could see. It was a physical change. So anyways, I went in, and come to find out I now have arthritis. That's when they told me I had arthritis. So I've only had arthritis in my hips for at least the last month. Totally different pain, and it's excruciating because every step you make actually use your hips. And I was like, oh my god, I can feel that now. I did get a little bummed out, and of course it's depressing because I've already got so many issues. Now I've got more. I want to be, I've got so much energy, and I want to do things, and I see things that need to be done, and I can't do them without knowing there's going to be a huge consequence to it. That's what my life has become. A huge consequence to everything I do. There's so many things I could tell you. What it's like. You go through so many emotions, because I was the person in this household that worked, that did everything, cooked, cleaned. I did everything. Now I feel like I failed. It's pretty hard to go from being completely independent and strong and the one that just did everything to now I'm becoming dependent. A lot of times I'll suffer because I don't ask. A lot of times I'll sacrifice things like eating, like clean clothes, because I can't ask anybody to do those. Or when I do, they're busy, and I get that. I got adult kids. I got 3. One's a trucker, one works at Walmart, and one does sales. They each have their own lives, and I don't want to burden them. So and when I will ask if I have to. If I go like a week without food or something, I'll ask them finally. I'll be like, hey, I'm hungry. I need you to buy me some food. And I know they got their own expenses. As it is, they pay. They're wonderful kids. I'm not trying to say they're bad, but they already pay for where I live. If it wasn't for them, I would be homeless. I wouldn't have electricity because I have no income. For the past maybe 5 to 7 years, I think, something like that, I've had 0 income. So it's been up to those kids, my kids, to pay the bills at this house. So because they do that, I don't want to ask them for more. I like I said, I was the one that provided everything before, and for me to go from that to saying, hey kids, I need you to pay for everything, you know not very many mothers want to become a burden to their kids, especially at an early age. I expected that my kids would need to take care of me when I was in my 70s or 80s, but they started taking care of me when I was in my when I was about 40 something, 42 maybe, I don't know. So it's not been that many years, I guess, but because I'm 47, going to be 48 now, so I guess it's not been that many years, but it seems like forever that they've been taking care of me. Um, I know my girls were still in high school when they started taking care of me, or taking care of the house bills, because I couldn't do it anymore. Oh, that was so devastating for me. Because, your kids are in high school, they shouldn't be doing shit like that, really. How can you put that on your kids? You know? But, in the beginning it was really hard for, especially my middle daughter. She was very upset with me, very angry with me. And what could I couldn't do anything. I sold everything I could possibly sell. I would constantly sell or trade my stuff for food or this or that, And then it got to the point where I couldn't even do that because people just didn't trade, they, just didn't. Anyways, this is my first vlog, I guess. I'll leave some for later. There's so many things I could tell you. So I'll go ahead and leave this and see what happens. Maybe this will help me get things out that I need to, because there's things that I want to say that I really can't say to my kids. And like I said, my kids are good. But as mom, I don't want to be a burden, so I don't want to always ask them for food. I don't want to always ask them for things that I need, because they have their own lives and they have their own expenses. I know that. So I'm not trying to be like, your mom needs this, your mom needs that. I'm not, I don't want to feel like I'm a burden or that I'm using them in any way. I should have been able to do for myself by now, and I was, until I couldn't. Anyway, I'll leave a little more for next time. Thanks for listening.